He Check Media back with another reaction video. On this video, we're gonna be reacting to Wack. Wack gets pulled up on. DJ Vlad is in the middle of an interview with Freeway Rick, and you know what he says. You listen. Let me call up Wack right now, and we can get to the bottom of, you know, the disagreement that you guys have. So he calls up Wack, and then you can listen to these two guys have a conversation, and you can see Freeway Rick's not happy with Wack making statements and, you know, making up lies about him as far as paperwork is concerned that he actually can never back up. So yeah, he has no real paperwork, and you can see Freeway Rick questions him on it. He even tells him, "Listen, call 600 right now. Put him on the phone too." So you can see the conversation gets heated, and you can see Freeway Rick is clearly checking Wack, and Wack doesn't have any real answers, you know, to what Freeway Rick is saying. Now Wack, you know, is known to lie about people. He says a bunch of shit about people online, when he thinks no one's ever gonna, you know, hear what he's saying. Sometimes it gets back to those people, and those people, you know, they're looking for him, and sometimes they just catch up to him. And when they catch up to him, he's always stumbling. But he's known to say a bunch of shit about people behind their back when they're not around, and he doesn't think they, you know, the internet's gonna catch up to him. You know, he basically knew Loose Cannon was lying. The first time Loose Cannon went on the no jumper, Wack knew Loose Cannon was lying, and he just went with the lies and just continued to feed lies and nonstop lies. And you see what happened to Loose. Talked himself into a RICO. Told a lot of lies and also told some truth in there, and enough to get himself picked up by the feds. So Wack is known to lie and say a bunch of shit about people that he doesn't think is going to get back to them. Sometimes they catch up with him. So we're going to play this conversation. Wack getting G-checked by Freeway Rick. That's all we got on this one. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, so you guys don't miss the next reaction.
I had Wack 100 here recently, and me and him were arguing because he claimed that you had some level of cooperation, which I tried to argue with, but, you know, he seemed to have certain things in mind that I wasn't familiar with. So you actually saw this interview, right?
Yeah, I saw that, man. It was a joke, really. I mean, you know, when you hear people who have never been in a courtroom, when you hear them talk, they don't understand the law at all. And in my opinion, Wack is one of those people who don't understand the law. You know, what he calls cooperation, people who are going to court fighting cases, we call it discrediting police officers. So, and what I mean by that is, first of all, anybody who go to jail is really committing a crime. The first thing they say is, "I didn't do it." You know, even if they did do it, they're gonna say the police is lying. He planted wasn't my. I didn't have a. So all of those are forms of discrediting police officers. So when a police officer gets on the witness stand and they lie, and then you get on the witness stand and you tell them what really happened, that's not cooperation. That's called discrediting police officers.
All right, well, let's go ahead and FaceTime Wack. Let's actually get his take on it in person. I got Freeway Ricky right here, and he wants to address what you said in our last interview.
What up, Wack?
What's up?
You know what?
Me and a whole lot of BS.
No, I didn't get you in nothing. You brought that up. You should have already known when you bring my name up.
I always defend it. You gotta remember, I know that what you did with the dirty police, we never gave it about that. That's it. So what? Right? But I didn't know nothing about all the plugs and connects in Ohio and some dude in Miami and something they had.
You shouldn't. If you don't know, you shouldn't mention it. We should only speak on stuff we know about.
Okay, so somebody say, and you know day one, Freeway Rick is snitch. Hey, listen, bro. All he did was gave up the dirty police who crossed him. That ain't telling. As far as I'm concerned, I always took that stance.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
We ain't talking about that. We talking about he gave up the connect.
The connect told on me. What the they talking about? They don't read. You got people, you listening to people who don't read and don't know nothing about the law.
Okay.
My connection set me up.
Okay, so I can remember what they was reading. They was reading something, and my man had it, right? And it was something about something in Ohio. You had something going on in Ohio?
I got arrested in Ohio.
Something about Ohio. That other dude name who I done heard you mention, that was working with the government, Clint, whatever that dude name.
Blandone.
Yeah, Blandone allegedly plugged you with somebody in New York, and you gave them up. I don't know. Listen, they reading it.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me tell you something. There's no way possible that there's anybody on the planet that I could have told on that wouldn't have came forward as public as I am right now that wouldn't come forward and say, hey, Rick told on me. Where he at?
This what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get what they got, and I'm going to send it to you. Because they got it. That's why I couldn't.
They ain't got nothing. They got dreams and lies.
Also says what I've always stood on, which he cleared up.
Dreams and lies.
And yes, I did stand up in courtroom and tell that Blandone was a lying.
Well, my thing was your time deduction, whatever it was, came from the crooked cop, which I don't give a fuck about that. So what?
That was in my first case.
Yeah, they showed that. I'm like, nah, you see it right there. That
150 people got out of jail from that, including John Boy, Big Puddin', the list go on and on of the people. Jesse from Main Street, Droopy, all them got time reductions when those cops got indicted.
I've always said I support him with that. But it's the other in there these I never knew nothing about. You know,
but you still don't know nothing about it.
No, they got some paperwork on it.
They ain't got no paperwork. That's make believe. That's cartoon. You shouldn't participate in that kind of. I look at you higher than that.
No, but listen. For one, if I'm gonna participate in defending you, like I always been, they put something in front of me, I can't ignore it.
If somebody put something in front of you, it would be public knowledge. It wouldn't have to be something that you have to go and dig up. You should be able to go to Ohio. You can go to Ohio right now and pull up the news article, and what it's gonna tell you is a $10 million man came to town to face trial. That's what it's gonna say.
I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't never dug your up. I've always took it for face value. I'm gonna keep it real. Everything I repeat is what I heard you say.
And all you gotta do is pull it up in the newspaper. When I went to court, it was in the newspaper.
Well, no, the newspaper, because the newspaper could be manipulated.
But where they gonna get the paperwork from?
Well, all paperwork is public record. You know that, unless it's sealed.
Where they gonna get it from, though?
Well, I'm gonna hit dude because 600 them. I'm gonna hit dude and get it.
600 ain't got it. 600 call me all the time. What is you talking about?
Boy,
600 ain't got no. Hold on, let me call 600 right now. Where my phone at?
Because he was there with me when they brought it. Call him. Yeah, he was there with me when they brought it.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, get that nigga, because he was more on their side than my side.
Listen, if it was somebody I told on, they'd have done came public. They done went on Vlad and say, no, I'm just telling you, use logic sense though. If it was somebody that I had told on, he'd already came public and said that Rick told on me. Just like the dude did with Meech.
It's the Ohio dude and New York dude.
When I went to Ohio, I went to court by myself.
And I guess that other dude was down in Florida at the time. That whatever that weird that black.
And I've never been indicted or nothing in New York.
Nah, it wasn't you was indicted in New York. He had set you up with a plug in New York. And you get 600 on the line. He ain't answering you?
No, he ain't answering. He might answer you. You hit him and see if he answer you.
Hold on. I might can do this, but we all on here. Hold on. Yeah, let's do it because he was in the room. Share. Hold on.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be spreading gossip, though, homie.
That ain't gossip. They read it.
No, that's gossip. What you saying is straight.
I'm trying to tell you. They read
What you saying though is straight gossip, homie.
They read.
You know. They don't even do that in the hood.
Listen, they read it, bro. Like, what the fuck you want?
They should have handed you the paperwork. You should have got the paperwork. They should have handed you the paperwork in your hand.
Hold on, let's get 600 on it. I'm sitting there defending you, and they shoot me. Only thing I can stand on is his time deduction came from the. It said that at the end of it, at the bottom of it. His time deduction came from the cops.
That wouldn't even have nothing to do with it. That happened in L.A.
Yeah,
The crooked cops was in L.A.
they had all your.
How they get all my?
The same way they get anybody else. I just never went looking for your bro. I never went looking for you. I just took what you said at face value.
I ain't never said nothing. I ain't never told nobody that I didn't snitch. I don't have to prove myself to nobody.
Well, I never considered you what you did to the police snitching. Personally.
Nobody in the pen didn't either.
Yeah, I've never.
You know, I walked around Lompoc with everybody.
Listen,
From Ray, and I got passes that most people didn't get when I was in the pen. You know, I could go to the.
Always stood on.
I could go to the Mexican Mafia table and sell cigarettes and candy and soda. Everybody.
Yeah, why he ain't answering the phone?
He must know what we want. Or think I want to collect some of my money he owed me.
Oh my God! He ain't thinking I got you on the phone. He is not answering. That's weird.
Yeah, but you shouldn't repeat that stuff.
Hey, listen. I don't give a about me, you, and him. If they got some paperwork, I'm gonna read it, bro.
You can read it, but you don't. Listen. You don't even know where the paperwork come from. I'm asking you right now, where the paperwork come from. You don't even know. You don't know if it was a government paperwork. You don't know if it was wrote by one of those tabloid magazines. You don't know where it come from. Could have been some clown typed up, and you repeating it.
So now, what I gotta do now is really put my people on and just go get it all. I'll go get it all. Ain't no problem. I just ain't never looked into you. I never had a reason to.
Yeah, you just go do your homework. Yeah, I don't really entertain fruitless conversations.
Well, if it's about your name and it's saying they got some paperwork, that ain't fruitless.
I ain't worried about my name. I made this name. It used to be, hey, they used to be the junkie Freeway Boys. That's what Jay Clayton, you remember Jay Clayton? You heard of Jay Clayton?
But listen, this is the thing, right?
With Wack, you heard of Jay Clayton?
When you say you made that name, and I had a conversation about this. All you who think the glory and fame, and you one of them, me's one of them, your name came from what it came from, y'all act like that is something to be proud about, bro. Oh my God.
I'm proud about everything. Everything I've been through. Hey, I love myself. I'm ecstatic with me.
But I'm saying, but all that.
And that's why I treat.
Listen, all you dope dealers like all famous for selling, y'all really shouldn't be famous because y'all up the community. Let's be real. You got your money. You made some money. But if we talking about it at the age we are now, looking back, I'm not, bro. The name I had from game banging and doing something to it behind the color, I don't want none of that fame. But right. What you should be really beating your chest about is your accomplishment when you got out, how you could have did and you didn't and did something different. But I'm totally against, because when we doing that, we glorifying it and we telling the kids. That's like me telling the kids go gangbang, put some work in. I'll be dead wrong.
Yeah, but I respect my past. I did what I did.
You respect your past?
Absolutely. And I'm not embarrassed. And I'm not embarrassed about what I did.
No, I'm not saying be embarrassed about it, but you proud of it?
What you mean? That's a question that really can't be answered. When you say, "Am I proud of it?"
I'm not proud.
I'm happy with myself. I love who I am today.
Okay.
And so, in order to love who I am today, I have to love everything that I've been through, because everything that I've been through made me who I am today. Had I not went through what I went through, I couldn't be the person that I am today.